Today's one of those days where I could have just taken one trade and would have been done. I would have been up $140 on the day, but no, I had to keep trading. Unfortunately, first, I guess first day I trade this week, it's Tuesday, and ended up $188. It's not a big loss or anything. It's a little frustrating that I think the lack of plays are unfortunately getting to me, and I'm forcing things that are not necessarily there. So we'll talk about that today on Market Open Trading. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Miguel with Market Open. Now let's talk about the trades that I took this morning. So the very first trade I took was good. It was actually two trades on PAGS that I took were good. Now, let's see here. The first trade I took was right at 931. So it was a short right here under the 2830. Now, I actually ended up getting a good fill on it somehow. Let's see here, right at 931. So right here, I think it had spiked up for a second and it filled me at 2846. My stop was going to be 2850. So right around up here. Now, how did I get lucky on that one? No idea, because if you notice here, it says 931. This candle's 931, and I knew I wanted to get in below this right here. So 931.57. Maybe might have just been looking at the level 2 or something, and I got in right here when it spiked real quick and it came right back down. I don't really know, but either way, so I got filled right at 2846. And let's see here. Oh, sorry. Actually, you know what? Now I just realized that I made a mistake. I got filled at 2846, and I immediately got out because I had not gotten the next candle had not opened up, and I was not below 2830 or 2830. So I immediately got back out. That's what it was. All right, then I actually shorted it at 2830 right at 933. So right here in this candle as it broke, I got filled right at 2830 and I covered all 400 shares at 2793. So as you can see, it tanked shortly after. Now I was up $200 on this, and for some reason, I don't know why, but it was slightly spready and it filled me, and I missed about $50 of profit. So instead of being up $200, I was risking $100. So instead of being up $200, I was actually only up $140. So if you guys do the math here, from 28.43 covered at 27.93, it's about $140, unfortunately, and I did not get my 2-to-1 gains on that. Let's see here. Next trade I took was on DBX. Right here. DBX, 250 shares right at 938. 930, I'm going to guess probably here. You'll see DBX pulled up. It's also on the list, so it pulled up, pulled back to the moving average. Next candle make a new high was going to be my entries, and my stop was going to be down here at 42.05. Now, I got filled right at 42.44, so really not the best fill on that. At the top of this candle, and immediately very next candle kicked me out. So that ended up not holding. I actually saw it as well on the 5-minute chart, and I was thinking of maybe adding over the top here at 42.90, but it never actually ended up coming back, and the flag didn't work, so that ended up I ended up losing on DBX immediately. I think I was down $120 first trade. So in at 42.44, got kicked out of 42.04. Next trade on DBX was, let's see here, over 945, so I'm going to guess, yep, right here. So as you see it rounding up here, it's above the 9, above VWAP, and I was thinking anything above this should start heading higher. My stop was going to be down here at 42, and it triggered, and it ended up coming right back and kicking me out. So that's 2 trades on DBX, down $206. Let's see here. Kicked out at 41.93 at 9.53. So probably this candle right here. So basically at that point I was down, what was it? 60 bucks, something like that. And right here on Snap, I took another. Snap was actually not on the watch list this morning. I ended up seeing it on the scanner. It's basically the gaining or the top loser for the morning with the most volume. So let's see here. If you put my scanner for headed down, PGS. Oh, so Snap is actually not even on here anymore. Let's see here. Is it on my? It's number 5 right now on the list for biggest losers on the NYSE. So either way, I saw Snap coming down. It didn't give me an entry until down here. I wanted to take this little flag, this little bear flag, but it looks like it was a little overextended. I didn't get my fill quite at 12.88. My stop was going to be here at 12.94, so I was risking 14 cents. It came down here and it bounced a few times at 12.66. Which was not enough for me to go to 1-to-1. I did notice that it was starting to bounce, and I was thinking about actually getting out at flat, basically, back at 12.77. But I wanted to stick to the plan and not get out. So unfortunately, I ended up taking a loss on that. Ended up losing, I believe it was like 110 bucks or something like that, because I actually ended up taking 2 trades on Snap. So I ended up taking a loss on Snap. So there. 27.97. I believe that's probably my second trade on PAGS. So I took a loss on Snapchat. Then here on PAGS, I actually ended up taking another trade. So right at 9.58. What is this thing at? 9.58. So right here, right under 28. I ended up taking it short as it broke down below VWAP, below the 9. Stop was here at 28.40. And as it broke down, it made a lower high. And it just kept going lower and lower and lower. So I ended up covering 125 shares at 27.05. Actually, take that back, 27.57. So I covered half at 1-to-1, and I covered the other half at 2-to-1. I didn't really expect PAGS. PAGS was actually my only short candidate that I had this morning, and I knew that it wasn't. I didn't think it was going to tank, as much as it did after the initial bounce around on the VWAP, because it was just an offering. Offerings usually don't make the stock really tank that much. So it usually the initial move ends up being good. VWAP projections usually don't really tend to play out too well on those, but this one actually ended up working out by some miracle. So ended up booking $305 on PAGS. Now, let's see here. That was a short on Snap. So let's go back to Snap. So ended up getting kicked out of Snap here. Now, I was thinking 13 over and under. So VWAP was sitting somewhere around 13. Right here. Short, covered. Is that what it was? So shorted at 12.77. Yep, down here, covered. Oh, actually, yeah, let's do the Snap trade and then we'll do the IQ trade. So Snap actually ended up coming back all the way back to VWAP, and my initial thought behind it was I wanted to do a short over and under 13. So I expected it to keep continuing with the market, but unfortunately it didn't. So I wanted to come back up and over 13, and as it failed to make a higher high, I was going to go ahead and short it. So as you can see here, I shorted it right at 12.99 at 11.46. So right here in this candle, my stop here was 1305. I was only risking $60, and it is sandwiched between VWAP and the 9. This is typically not a trade that I like to take, but I think the reward could have been greater, or a lot greater than the risk, because if this would have failed at VWAP and would have started coming back down, I think this definitely would have had I could have had 4-1 on something like this, but unfortunately it consolidated above, right across VWAP, and actually went a little higher. It kicked me out. So I ended up losing a total of $195 on Snap. Took one trade on IQ. So let's see here. So at this point, I think it was probably down like, I was still down $60. So I took this trade on IQ. This one I actually ended up putting in the room. So if you guys will notice here, there's this wedge. There's a wedge forming here. There's a wedge forming there. So what I was thinking initially is my stop would be here at 44.61, and as it's coming back up, it popped up and over the highs. My stop was down here. Now, after it popped, it immediately got rejected. So this is basically a fake breakout, or just a rejected breakout. So right as it popped up and over, it immediately got rejected and it kicked me out. Now IQ still around the 45 area, it's above VWAP and all that, but it's been very strong lately. Now my reasoning behind that was that it has been so strong in the past couple of days. As you can see here, in the past like 4 or 5 days, it's had a range of almost $5. So from 35 to 40, 37 to 42.50, 42 to 46 today. So it's been relatively strong. And I mean, the move this morning was good, from 42 all the way to 46, but that was like right off the bat. You didn't really have time to blink or anything. So it didn't really quite give me an entry, and the market was headed down this morning until it broke back up and over VWAP, and that's when I started noticing IQ. So fortunately, $180 down on the day. Just not very solid trades. There really has not been a lot. And today's just one of those days is if I would have only taken the very first trade on PAGS and just stopped trading for the rest of the day, I would have done a lot better. But there has just not been a lot of good trades. So I'll keep that in consideration going in tomorrow. Small red day, not a considerable loss. Just have to tread water until the next decent plays, or something happens in the news. I know that we got some news yesterday about Trump possibly wanting to put more tariffs on China, so that's affecting a lot of the stocks, and that drove the market to gap down this morning. But it is actually starting. It looks like it's actually starting to fill the gap back up. So let's look here. Right here. So it gapped down pretty big this morning, and it looks like it's trending back up towards closing the gap. I'm not really sure if it's going to close the gap. Nobody really knows that sort of stuff. Not Miss Cleo here. So fortunately, I'll take my loss for the day, and I'm going to be done trading. I'll keep that into consideration for tomorrow. Maybe just take less trades. And I'll talk to you guys next time.